For most of human history, the most dangerous humans on Earth were not us. They were stronger than we were. Their bodies were built for cold. Their lives were shaped by a world that tried to kill them every single day. They hunted animals larger than cars. They survived winters that lasted for years. They lived where our species would not survive for tens of thousands more. For over 300,000 years, they ruled Europe and Western Asia. And then, they were gone. No monuments, no written record, no final warning. This is the story of the other humans and how their world ended. Long before cities, before farming, before memory itself. Europe was not green and gentle. It was a land of ice, wind, and hunger. Forests stretched for miles, broken by frozen plains. Glaciers crept slowly across the landscape. Winters could last for years at a time. Food was never guaranteed. Warmth was never permanent. Survival was never certain. This was not a world where weakness survived. And yet, another kind of human thrived here. Neanderthals were not visitors in this land. They were not explorers. This was their home. Their bodies were short and powerful. Their bones were thick. Their muscles dense. Every part of them was shaped by cold. They hunted mammoths and woolly rhinos. They tracked herds across frozen ground. They followed the seasons, knowing when to move and when to stay. A single mistake could mean death, a broken leg, a missed hunt, a harsh winter. And still, they endured. For hundreds of thousands of years, while our ancestors lived only in Africa, Neanderthals were already masters of the Ice Age. For most of modern history, Neanderthals were treated like a joke. They were imagined as slow, violent, barely intelligent. That image is wrong. Archaeology tells a different story. Neanderthals controlled fire, not just to survive, but to gather, to cook, to bond. They crafted stone tools with precision. Some tools were specialized, passed down through generations. They hunted in coordinated groups. They understood animal behavior. They planned. But perhaps the most human evidence comes from something else. Injured Neanderthals survived. We find skeletons with crushed bones, missing teeth, healed fractures. Injuries that would have made hunting impossible. They lived anyway. That means someone fed them, protected them, waited for them to heal. Neanderthals cared for one another. They buried their dead, sometimes with objects placed carefully beside them. This was not instinct. This was meaning. They lived in small, tight communities. Knowledge passed through memory, not writing. A single elder could carry the survival wisdom of decades. They were not animals pretending to be human. They were human, just not us. Around 60,000 years ago, something changed. Another human species began moving north, Homo sapiens. Our ancestors left Africa and entered a world already claimed. For the first time in Earth's history, two different kinds of humans shared the same land. Imagine that moment, across a frozen valley. Smoke rises from a distant fire. The figures around it walk differently. They speak in unfamiliar sounds. They are human, but not the same. Did they fear each other? Did they watch from the shadow? We don't know. What we do know is that they overlapped for thousands of years. This was not a brief encounter. It was generations. Sometimes they competed. Sometimes they avoided one another. And sometimes they came together. We know this because many people alive today carry Neanderthal DNA. Not myths, not legends, genetics. Their disappearance was not instant. For thousands of years, two human futures existed at the same time. Only one survived. Neanderthals did not lose a single war. They lost slowly. The climate became unstable. Ice ages intensified, then retreated, then returned. Food sources shifted. Habitats disappeared. Neanderthals lived in small populations, sometimes only a few dozen individuals in a region. Every death mattered. Modern humans lived differently. They formed larger networks. They exchanged ideas across distances. They adapted faster to change. Over time, Neanderthals were pushed to the edges of the world. Some starved. Some failed to reproduce. Some were absorbed into us. Not through violence, but through time. Generation by generation, their numbers fell. Until one day, there were no Neanderthals left to inherit the world. They didn't lose a battle. They lost the future. The final Neanderthals lived in refuges, along coastlines, in isolated regions, where survival was barely possible. One of the last known populations may have lived near what is now Gibraltar. Then, silence. No final stand. No collapse. Just absence. When the last Neanderthal died, no one recorded it. No one knew they were the last. But the world had changed forever. Neanderthals are gone, but they are not lost. They live on in our immune systems, in our bones, in fragments of DNA passed quietly through time. They were human, and for most of history, they were the ones who came before us. This was the world before us, and it almost wasn't ours at all.